Welcome to the Talking Diaries podcast featuring Dr. Louis Koster with John Kremer. I feel sometimes, I guess, when we're talking that it gets so in some ways, I guess you could say challenging that it almost overwhelms listening to you talk about it. I don't know if that makes sense or not. But I can see the thoughts that you're expressing are in some ways very challenging to those of us who love sticky thoughts or at least caught up in them.
Yeah, I can totally get what you say. So none of it, what I'm saying, does make any sense.
That's it. I knew it.
And it is only through your own experience that you can find this out. So understanding it is not going to make any difference and will not give a sense of freedom or freedom to be. The freedom is not found in the thinking. It's found out in the discovery of what is true in your life, like to discover what is true and what is not true.
It seems like for you, a lot of that process happened as you wrote every morning in your diary, as you recorded simply what you were observing happening.
That is so accurate. It is a diary where it's just unfolding. It is an investigation in my own unfolding of what I what's happening in my life and how I can go about that in such a way that um, that I have more clarity and what is actually true.
Well, it seemed like in reading some of your diaries that it was sort of like a process of watching, I guess you could say, or observing the thoughts that were arising and just allowing them to arise, and out of that came discovery.
That is absolutely true. Yes, exactly. So true discovery can only happen when first I allow for what is there. So so what you said that is actually very very interesting is that I took it upon myself as an experiment to actually see what is there in my consciousness. And from my perspective, I can say that I took the courageous step to allow for the totality of it and then see what is unfolding, what is happening, uh, where that leads me to. And that also gives or gave me the opportunity to see it exactly for what it is. And what I noticed was, to my own surprise, that the seeing of it exactly as it is actually made an enormous difference. That in seeing it for what it is, exactly, that is where is part of the solution to what I might have perceived as a problem.
In some ways, I sort of think of it as an athlete uh, who's well trained. They
Yes.
they no longer think about each step of the swing of the bat, let's say, in baseball, or
Uh-huh.
or every little step in trying to catch a football, because the minute you think about every step, you're going to trip. But if you just get into the totality of that experience, you make a good catch or you hit the baseball or whatever happens. But if you try to think, like, if you ask one of them, well, how do you swing that bat so accurately? You're going to ruin their swing if they have to
Exactly.
think
Yeah.
about every little
Yeah.
step of it, um, because they've left go of all those thoughts, and all they're doing now is acting on the experience that they have of who they are and how they swing.
I'm not too sure whether they act on their experience. I think they are in the game.
Right,
They are the game.
right. I think that's a good way to say it. I know when I play different sports, when I think about it too hard, my play deteriorates. But when I just play the game, I do much better.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So, how to play the game of life is is to be uh, well, to be yourself.
And the best way to be yourself is to allow for the totality of what arises.
Yeah, ongoingly.
So you have to be courageous at every minute. For I
Oh
hope
well,
not.
so some thoughts are easier to deal with than others, but this is just the nature of it. They come out of nowhere. Like in particular, when I think that I'm having a great time, that things are going fantastic. That's when something comes up that obviously what I need to deal with. So it's not about comfort. Like having a great life is not about comfort, but it is the ability, the skill to be with whatever is there, and then in such a way that then I return to my true self, so to speak.
And the thing that allows you to return to that true self is just be allowing for the totality of what arises.
Yes, and then in doing so, I get to see where I'm stuck, where I'm attached, where I want it to be different. That gives me this sense of self, the personal self, which is not which only exists in the thinking. And so by 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 seeing things as they are, what appeared as real disappears.
Thank you for listening to the Talking Diaries podcast featuring Dr. Louis Koster. For more information, check out louiskoster.com/talking diaries and subscribe to the Talking Diaries YouTube channel. Also, check out louiskoster.com/quiz and take the free quiz to discover more about yourself.